everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, hi, I'm Danielle. I make videos on spirituality, witchcraft, hoodoo, and monthly pick-a-card readings. So if those things interest you, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and be sure to follow me on Instagram for daily inspirational quotes and card readings. So today I want to talk about wind magic and tornado magic. So when it comes to wind, and I've mentioned it before, it's something that I like to work with wind and use it for is cleansing. Just standing out in the wind, letting it blow over you and cleanse you. So cleansing is one of the properties of wind. Divination, moving things out of your way, removing obstacles or creating obstacles. Think about a powerful wind, knocking down power lines and knocking down trees. Those are obstacles and it slows things down. So you can use wind in that way and for that purpose. You can use wind as vessels. I mentioned this before, using the wind as a vessel to carry your thoughts, carry your intentions across long distances, either carrying, things away from you or carrying your intentions to a target. It can also be used to neutralize. Wind blows in all different sorts of directions. So you can use the wind to neutralize energy, to decrease the energy, just dispersing it out, lessening the effects of something, trying to balance things out, if you will. You can use it in that way. If a spell has gotten out of hand and you want to slow things down, you can do that. Hold on. Or again, just spreading things around in a neutralizing fashion, or just spreading it out over vast distances, making it spread out everywhere, because wind travels everywhere eventually. So using that, if you wanted to do, say for instance, like a world peace type of spell or something, and you want that energy and you want your intentions to go a long way, so wind can be used for that. It can be also used as a spell booster, or it can be used in spells that hinder progress. Again, it just depends on the direction of the wind that is blowing in, or your relation to the wind. Wind is either going to push you and, give you a boost. It's going to have your back, be at your back and give you a boost, or it's going to be, in front of you, holding you back, slowing things down, making it difficult for you or your target to move forward. So you could use, like an opposing wind in an you can't spell. So, the relation of the wind to you, it's helping you out, but your target, it's blowing in the opposite direction for them. So, again, that you can't energy helping you and hurting them, or just however you want to use it. If you don't want to use that combo effect, you don't have to, just working with one or the other. And how you work with wind, you can work with it in a couple of ways. You can either work with it as in, okay, well, this wind is heading in the direction of my target, so I'm going to work with it for that reason. Or you can work with the wind because it's blowing in from a certain direction, because depending on what direction the wind blows in, it'll have different properties. The north wind, the south wind, east wind, and west wind. And they even have names in, I believe it's Greek mythology. I can't think of the names now, but each wind has a name. It's like that's the being or entity that's ruling over that particular direction of wind, and that's who you're calling on. That you're calling on the spirit of the wind, the spirit of the western wind, or what have you. So when it comes to the properties of each direction, the west winds, they're associated with the color blue, and so therefore, whatever properties the color blue has, you can use the west wind for, you can invoke those properties as well using the west wind. So it's used for that. It's used for cleansing, self-healing, intuition, spirit communication, and just spirituality in general. And it's used for emotional matters of all kinds, but it can also be used for love spells as well. But actually, the south wind is used for that. Um, usually used for love, but we'll get to that in a minute. So the north wind, that's associated with the color black, with death, change and transformation, cursing. Also, it's a powerful energy for cleansing, for uncrossing, for breaking jinxes and hexes, for cutting energetic cords. Um, and it can be used to just release whatever you need to release. And it can also be used as can be used in breakup spells because it has that death energy, and putting a halt to things. So the south wind, like I said, is used a lot in love spells. It's associated with yellow, and it's a very energetic wind, a very stimulating wind. It's got properties of warmth and passion and heat, and so you can use the south wind as a spell booster. You can also use it to cause tensions, because heat things up, cause heated arguments, if you will. You can, because it's stimulating, you can use it to like open up your chakras if you want to. Now, if you want to use it for opening up your chakras, if you're working with a chakra that's been closed for a while, or you dealt with some trauma that's really affected one or more chakras, when you do your chakra work, any work, whether you're working with this southern wind to help you with that or not, make sure you're breathing deeply and not holding your breath, not taking shallow breaths. You really just want to breathe through it, because again, depending on how long your chakra has been closed, or what you've been through in like recent years or what have you, you'll actually feel it deeply when that chakra opens, and it can actually be a scary experience depending on which chakra it is. Because like I recently opened up my heart chakra, and I thought I was gonna have a damn heart attack because it was like so much energy rushing in, through a space that hasn't been handling that level of energy in a long time. I've been I've been in hermit mode. I've been doing a lot of meditation still, and just kicking that up a notch. So working with the solfeggio frequencies, and really doing shadow work and facing those demons. And I've really, come to a point where I've pass through a gateway, if you will, where I can face bigger demons, because this is what happens as you do shadow work. You'll face some, and it's like a game. It's like you got to face the imps, and then you got to face this, and then you got to face the boss. And then you do it all over again. It's like for different areas, different demons, if you will, are not going to reveal themselves and come up out of the shadows until you are ready to heal them and work with them and acknowledge them and do what you need to do, to master them. And so I reached a new level, and that heart chakra kindly opened up. I'm like, oh, what is what is going on? But I do think it's because of just this extra work, and just excuse me, getting to that next level of shadow work, if you will, and being humble enough to admit certain things about yourself. I was like, so it's just a new space, because your chakras, all of them, can open and close, several times throughout the years. It just depends on, what situation you've been through, what's going on in your life at the moment. And so, things get intense. The longer you're on the journey, or the more intense work you do, or if you find something that's really vibing and really helping you, you know what I'm saying, like the solfeggio frequencies can, then things can definitely kick up a notch. You can definitely feel things that you never felt before. So I feel like it was a combination of opening / healing, and so it was just a really intense feeling. I'm like, all right. My heart doesn't usually feel like this. What is going on? but that's what was happening. It was opening. So I just wanted to throw that bit out there and, tell you guys to breathe through it, because yeah, the sensations can definitely be intense depending on what chakra it is you're opening. Again, if it hasn't been open in a long time, it's been underactive, you're finally ready to look at this area of your life, like it can be a lot. But anyway, so you can use the south wind for, with its stimulating properties to stimulate and open inactive and closed chakras. So yeah, now the east wind, before I move on to the east wind, I do want to say that's why it's important to do chakra work on a regular basis, so it doesn't have to be so intense, or it can be less intense. So yeah, doing that chakra work on a regular basis to keep them open and keep them balanced. So anywho, the east wind is associated with the color white, and it is used for new beginnings, new ideas, new projects, transformation, and it can also be used if you're trying to sharpen or enhance your intellect or your wisdom, um, things of that nature. And so you can work with each individual wind if you like, or you can combine them. So say for instance, combining the east wind and the west wind, so you can work on that intellect but also your intuition. So you can do that, combine a couple, or combine all of them together, or just work with them on an individual basis. And some people, when they work with the winds, or work with the four winds, they also work and invoke the watchtowers as well. And so I'm gonna put up a community post, a little short community post about the watchtowers and who or what they are, if you're interested in that. So that is all about just wind, just regular wind and windy days. So, and just harnessing that energy. And harnessing that wind energy, just standing out in the wind, or collecting something that was pushed around by the wind. It just really depends on what it is you're trying to do, and what properties of the wind you're trying to invoke will give you an idea of how to collect it, or harness that energy. Now, when it comes to tornadoes, tornadoes are associated with all sorts of deities because of their power, but they're also associated with the universe and with galaxies and the cosmos because of their spiral nature. And so you can use tornadoes, for vengeance. It's kind of obvious. It's a kind of it's a wild storm, you know what I'm saying? So you can definitely use it for vengeance, destruction, curses, but also transformation. When tornadoes come through, shit changes and you have to rebuild. It can usher in new beginnings as well. You can use tornadoes to invoke fear. You can use tornadoes to invoke confusion or restlessness, conflict, fighting, disagreements. You can also use tornadoes, as crazy as this sounds. Excuse me. You can use them for attracting things as well. And I know that sounds crazy, but think about it. Tornadoes act as vacuums, and they suck up things when they come through. And so you can use tornadoes for that reason, and use it for attracting. So you could also use it if you wanted to attract a whirlwind romance. Oh, sorry, y'all. Hold on. Yeah, so what I was saying, you could use it to attract a whirlwind romance. That's a nickname for tornadoes, whirlwind. So, working with it for that symbology. And you can also use them for prayers, for communicating with the spirits, communicating with higher realms. Because think of the symbology of a tornado. They come down out of the heavens, connect to the earth, and then they draw back up into the heavens. So you could put your thoughts, put your intention into that tornado so that when it goes back up into the heavens, it's going to be the force of that tornado is going to be backing your intentions, and backing, your communication with your ancestors or whatever it is that you're trying to do. And it's like, um, a little slingshot kind of action. That's what I think of it as. So just it's just so much force. It's like it's propelling it up higher, and giving you access to maybe higher realms that you couldn't reach before, or just faster access to realms that you've already been in contact with. um and also, tornadoes are portals. um think of all of these, modern day mythologies, which are what they are, like the Wizard of Oz, these movies or TV shows or games and different things where tornadoes are used as portals and like transport you to other realms and other worlds. So tornadoes can be used for that, and they can also just be used for like mundane relocation, because they definitely relocate shit. So, um, and also just getting rid of things, because it's relocation. I would definitely say maybe working with something else, in addition to the tornado, because tornadoes can be so wild. So you can direct the relocation because you really won't have too much control over where that relocation is. But if you don't care, if you're a free spirit, it's like, okay, I want something new and I want to relocate. I want to go somewhere else. Tornadoes are excellent for that, and just literally going where the wind blows you and just flowing with that. So that's how you can, or those are the properties of tornadoes. Now, how you can harness the energy of tornadoes. Well, one, proximity. If you are wild enough to get close to a tornado, if you're a storm chaser, that's what you do anyway, then yeah, being close to the storm, you can definitely harness the energy, and maybe even in a more powerful amount, because of your willingness and your commitment to get that damn close to it. So just visualizing siphoning that energy off of the tornado if you're close to it, and siphoning it and pouring it into yourself, or into an object, or into your spell. If you aren't wild like that, then you can definitely wait till the tornado is gone. And go and collect things that were moved and affected by the tornado, whatever that may be. Now, if you can find something that was affected by the tornado that has the symbology of what it is, um you're trying, whatever purpose it is, you're working with that tornado. So say for instance you find an old baby doll and you need a doll, you're trying to do something like that, then that's perfect. But if you can't find anything, any object that has that symbology, but it's been in the storm, it's been touched by the storm, then that's fine. That's good enough. So volunteer, y'all, if you y'all live in these places where tornadoes are frequent, or even if they aren't frequent, getting close, go ahead and volunteer so you can collect some things and also help out. Why not? It's that reciprocal energy going on. I'm going to profit off of the destruction of this storm, as that's why you're there collecting something. So let me give some energy and give back, and volunteer and help clean up, so I can collect and also find some good shit to use in my spell work. Or you can, dumpster dive if you're not of the volunteering spirit, and wait till everybody done did all the cleaning. You go to the dump and find the stuff that looks like it's been in the storm. Okay. So yeah, that's how you can harness the energy of the tornado. And also just visualizing tornadoes themselves, watching videos of tornadoes, and really, harnessing the energy from that, because time is an illusion at the end of the day. So you watching a video of a tornado from a month ago or whenever, and you are tapping into that, it's like you're there. So yeah, get creative as far as thinking about how you can tap into that energy. The easiest way, safest way is just collecting something that you know has, been affected by the storm. It's not hard to point out what was destroyed by a tornado and just pick something up. And use it. So that is it, you guys. That is tornado magic, wind magic. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video helped you out, because I know tornadoes are kind of obscure when it comes to magic. There's not a lot of information out there about them, so I hope this video helps you out. And again, check out that community post that I'm going to put up. It should already be up by the time this video uploads, about the watchtowers and who or what they are, if you're interested. So that is it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next one.